Hey, I'm gonna do a monthly, I'm gonna try and do a monthly garden update because things change so quickly here in Panama and in El Valle. I was looking at a video that was taken about 10 months ago, and there were not that many plants on the property at all. So everything has been growing just in the last 10 months. So I'm going to walk around, and I don't know the names of everything, but I might have a little information on them. And I'll try and do this once a month. It should be fun to see what the progress is. So this is March 2024, and this will be the first garden progress update. The first thing that is amazing are these gardenias. This is a tree gardenia. I've never seen that before. And it has a little bit of a variegated leaf, which I really like. I think that looks really pretty. And the fragrance, as you know, is amazing. The basil I planted in a pot is actually doing pretty well. It was kind of touch and go there for a little bit, but it seems to be doing just fine. I'm going to trim back all this purple stuff that I don't know the name of at the end of dry season, and I'm going to let rainy season really kind of nurture the roots. The canna lilies are doing much better now that I've actually been watering. I had mistakenly thought that they were getting enough water, and they were not. I forget the name of this plant. I have it on the little sticker, or tag on the ground. I'm not sure how it's doing because, it has a flower on it, but it has very few leaves. It needs partial shade, so it kind of gets partial shade here. My hope is that they will do okay. The coleus, this one I got, this one in the middle, and then one on the end, because this section was looking a little bare because nothing was really growing, and I kind of wanted to keep in the red theme over here, kind of blending into the yellow with the tree, the yellow and the canna lilies, and the deep purple of the plant that I forget the name of. So I think the coleus will do well. They're generally pretty sturdy. I've got a freeform holy basil. The main plant was actually where that clump of weeds is, and it died because of the wind, because the wind gets very strong, and it just kind of, I think, damaged the roots. These are amaryllis. So far they're alive, but I'm not really sure what is going to happen with them. This is either yellow squash or pumpkin. There were some flowers that happened, but I don't, oh, there's like evidence of a flower, so we'll see. Oh, here's another flower. And then that is the walking iris that I put on this side to kind of bring your eye across the yard from the walking iris that are over here. I've been giving these a little bit of water in the morning and then a good soaking at night. These are 3 little plants that I got at Vivero Ali, and they have a really pretty blue flower. Here's my resident spider in the succulent. It's an orb weaver. I just think they're a pretty cool spider. I have a huge one outside on a window. These are coming along. It's funny, I planted this from a cutting of the mama plant, and then the mama plant died. The papayas are coming along. I'd say they're probably about 3 feet tall. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, maybe 6 of them. And I think my gardener was saying that we'll wait and see what happens with the flower to see which ones are female, and then probably dig out the ones that are not going to produce. I would like to try and transplant them, but I've heard that they don't transplant very well. This plant I absolutely love. This flower just smells amazing. A friend pointed out it kind of has like a rose-like smell, which it does. This is a jasmine that I planted next to it. I think I planted it a little too close, and so far this has not flowered, but as I'm looking, I see like the potential for a flower. And then the pink one is actually fading now. Like it was in full bloom for a couple months. This plant is just not doing well. I think I'm just gonna cut it back and give it some neem oil in the soil and hope for the best. I'm noticing a lot of ants. Wow, tons of ants. So I am gonna get my spray for that. My tall background plants are doing pretty well, and the Heliconias that have like a pink and yellow flower, I think it's called strawberries and cream, they're doing okay. I did lose one, I think because it was too dry. Begonias are happy, and that's kind of surprising because they do get quite a bit of sun here. The plumeria is doing better now that I'm actually watering a little more consistently. Let's see if I can get the flower. And the angel trumpet tree looks like it's got some, it just bloomed, and I guess those are all dead. So it'll cycle back to another bloom. The elephant ear, purple elephant ear, is doing okay with water. Again, it's not one that necessarily really enjoys a lot of sun. This bamboo here, I just kind of tilled the soil a little bit and put some urea, which is just nitrogen there, because I figured it's a grass. So that would probably benefit from that. I didn't do too much because you just never know. The gingers are finally really thriving. They took a long time to fill in, but they're doing great. And I was very excited. Ooh, this is a cool little bug. It's like a little, oh, they're mating. I guess I should give them some privacy. I was very excited because I have a pink ginger. I think the predominant color that comes in is more of that magenta red color. This thing is just gorgeous. It's just so lush looking. So I have the ginger along here, and then I have 4 hibiscus that happen to be all pink. They were all from cuttings. This one, that one, and this one were kind of planted around the same time, and this one's doing a lot better. So I'm just going to give this one some extra attention. This is the more common color of the ginger. And I do have some white ginger that I just planted. There's a tiny, tiny little sprout in here. So that is a white ginger. And I'm going to keep it sheltered a little bit. I cut back a couple of the branches, and I'll continue to do that as the ginger acclimates. Nothing is blooming right now, but this is that, I think it's called a Confederate rose. The one that blooms white in the morning, turns pink, and then turns to deep magenta in the late afternoon. I got some seeds from the dead flower heads, but nothing has happened yet. That is the remains of dinner that I gave to the agouti oranges. This is the Dombea. It's in the hydrangea family. Really big leaves. This has done really well since I got it. These pink blossoms have almost like a cotton candy powdery kind of smell. I just love this plant, and I guess it's going to be a tree. Lantana's doing great. The bougainvillea was not happy, and now it's actually starting to grow and turn pink or red, magenta, whatever color that is. The one thing I'm really bummed about is the buddleia. So I cut it back severely, and I don't see any signs of anything happening. I think it was getting too much water, so I did a severe pruning. I'm trying not to water because it does get a lot of water runoff from the compost bin, and I've been checking it, just sticking a stick in the soil. That's the mandarin tree, slow growing, nothing really happening other than some new growth. Same with the guayaba. Some new growth there. The coconut palm, again, I misjudged on the watering, so all the impatiens that were around it kind of died off. Now I'm just watering more consistently. Also a slow grower, but it's got a frond coming, so by the time I'm 90, maybe there'll be a coconut. I love the papyrus. It's doing pretty well. I do have to water it because it does like to have a lot of water. I planted another one of those little angel trumpet trees, and that's very happy there. These hibiscus have been very happy here. Some stuff is like touch and go in here. You know, like there's these bare spots, but ooh, here's more of those zebra moths, and these guys are mating too. Or maybe that's just my dirty mind. I think this is going to need a good soaking. This is a yellow or an orange color plant that I don't know the name of, but I have a white one and I'll show you that. I thought this was dying, so again I cut back some of the branches, and then thankfully this is actually starting to get some leaves. Aren't those pretty? That color is just so nice. That Heliconia is struggling a little bit. As I'm standing here, I see how dry everything is. So as soon as I finish, I'm gonna go water. The gardener whacked the struggling little Heliconia that was here. That one's struggling. The Haas avocado tree so far looks pretty good. Very happy about that. Oh, this has definitely been a big experiment, this archway thing. This looks a lot better, believe it or not, than it did. I had strung just fishing line across and did not realize how heavy these vines are. Beautiful flower, very light, subtle fragrance on them. Guava tree, doing well. Getting a nice deep soak right now. These are popping up everywhere. This is a Meyer lemon. I did not know this, but apparently they come in green and then they turn yellow. So, but it's funny, I never even saw this flower. Kind of funny. These are beautiful. I think I'll take a couple cuttings of those, put them in water, see what happens. I love the look of this little flower. Very pretty. Those were volunteers, and even some tomatoes. This seems to be the theme. These pretty pink flowers with no name in my mind. And tomatoes, they seem to kind of hang out together. Oh, this is that hammock patio project. And I'm not sure if I'm going to continue with grass seed or get sod, because the grass isn't exactly the texture that I was wanting. Put this in the ground. That should kind of branch out to be like 2 stalks. This is both of these are white gingers, like a globe ginger, and then I planted this in between them. I thought that would just be a pretty combination, and I just trimmed back some of the ginger branches to give this plant a little more sun, a little more circulation. That's the white version of the other plant that was, I thought, you know, kind of dying. But I just love these flowers. These are slow growers, but they're doing well. I thought this corner would look nice with this combination because these are kind of droopy leaves and these flowers are kind of droopy. That's my little droopy corner. Struggling, 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 very slow growing. The fig is definitely going to get transplanted in the rainy season. I don't know what I was thinking putting it so close to the edge of the property. I think I was like just trying to utilize every inch of ground because, you know, the goal is to plant everywhere you can, right? But it's not doing well here. So that will be a project for the end of dry season, the beginning of rainy season. So that little hammock patio at the back, all these heliconias are going to be very tall. And then at the top, I'm getting a piece of the wire mesh, and then I'll have some flowers, you know, cascading down just for a little bit of shade. That little clump is doing well there. These were little sprouts of the walking iris, so I just figured I'd stick them somewhere. But this is a very dry spot, so they do have to get watered frequently now that it's dry. Here's another papaya. That'd be kind of cool if that one fruits. Hang out in the hammock and just pick a papaya. Those are the heliconias in the back. They're actually doing pretty well. Palm tree, more heliconias that are struggling and dry. As you can see, this is not really good soil. So I just kind of amended, you know, when the holes got dug for the plants and, you know, added some amendments in the soil. And then today I just put a combination of chopped up bamboo leaves, some peat moss, some sand, and a little bit of nitrogen. And I thought I only had one papaya in here, but I have two apparently, and a tomato. Everything's been very random in the garden. I don't know the name of this plant, but it has just been self-seeding all over the place. So I have this in a bunch of different areas now. And I think I'm gonna replant the fig tree. I think I put it a little too close to the trench, and that is kind of a dry spot. Oh my gosh, there's another tomato plant. This is too funny. That's very funny. Anyway, so I think I'm gonna transplant the fig because I don't think it's doing well here. But I think I'm gonna wait until rainy season starts just to give it a better chance to adjust. I'm back. The next morning I had to stop recording because my phone ran out of memory. Oh, but one thing I did last night was move a couple of plants over here. I think this is going to be a better grouping. That big purple thing was under this weird arbor trellis, and it just didn't look right, and now it just looks more intentional. And I'm thinking I might put a chair under there once the vines fill in around that trellis. And then those taller purple plants are going to be moved from here, because I think this will be a nice kind of natural pass through, and to fill in, you know, the garden on both sides, but to have this kind of be a natural little walkway. Oh, the plumbago is starting to do its thing. Perfect. I thought this would be a nice combination, the blue plumbago and the yellow of these flowers of the tree that has a name. This area is going to get some work. Fill it in over time. It does get very dry, so I'll probably have to amend the soil before I really put anything in there. I had moved this bromeliad because I had it in direct sun before and it wasn't doing well at all. Apparently they don't really like direct sun, and I'm not really sure how it's acclimating there. The bamboo in the distance, there's a pile of dirt and a pile of sand. What I'm thinking of doing, originally I was going to put my covered parking between the two bamboo clumps, but now that I realize how precious every inch of dirt is that I can plant something, I'm going to encourage the bamboo to grow across and have just in the middle, kind of where that line is, a path, like a couple of stones to walk through. And then I'm going to start cutting the bamboo that's up against the house because it's loud and it's probably not good for the house structure anyway to have the bamboo whacking it all the time. So I think that'll be kind of cool. This little area, not sure what's going to happen. I just put in this white ginger, so it's adjusting so far okay. This is a cherimoya tree seedling that I think I probably put in the ground too soon. Just planted that palm, so far it looks pretty good. This is not doing great at the moment, but I'm hoping that it's going to revive. That little corner's doing well. The morning glories are doing great. They're starting to do their thing, climbing up the container, and I'll have to get a different climber that's perennial to go across, because I guess the morning glories are annuals. The ylang ylang tree, so far doing well. In this pot are the seeds of the Panama flame tree that my neighbor gave me. I did actually pick through the soil and I found one of the seeds, and it looked like it had a little tiny root forming. That had decided it was going to live there, so I just let it live there and put some dirt around it. This is that really fragrant white flower. I think this is woodruff, maybe the name of it. It seems to be adjusting pretty well. There's some nice new green growth, and these flowers, they're so delicate and they just smell amazing. This is a first. There's 2 new bamboo stalks coming up in this clump over here that nothing has ever happened since when I moved in. So that is kind of fun. I used the leaves that were in this bin, cut them up and mixed them with peat and a little bit of sand, and put them around some of the bamboo and some other plants as mulch. I'm trying to propagate the bamboo, so this stalk had fallen over, and I thought, while it's still attached at the root in the ground, let me try that method of propagating. So I'm just going to leave it alone for a while because I think they're kind of slow growing. That's the other bamboo clump, and I just put some nutritious mulch around the base. And then after, I have a worker coming tomorrow, and he's going to start mixing the dirt and the sand, and I'm going to get some more peat, and we'll make this like an elevated area for the bamboo to eventually go across. Plants are not doing well in this little spot, so I think what I might do is just try and find a couple of big boulders at some point and just have like big rocks sitting there. It helps to have this little hump because the water does accumulate. Even though I have, some drainage things in place, the water has come up over that, and then it starts going under the house foundation, and I just always want to keep it away from the house foundation. These are galangal, very slow growing, but they're getting there. They were from tiny little cuttings, so it's nice to see that they're doing well. And that's pretty much it for the March 2024 update. Today is harvest day for the cuadrados. It's a big job taking down this tree. Oh, it's already down. Oh my gosh. That's so many. They're so beautiful. Oh. And then the rest of the tree gets cut down and composted. And I'm actually starting to use this dry stuff as mulch because it is very dry right now. And I figure could be a good way just to keep the moisture around the base of the plants. This is the avocado tree that I have, and I can definitely mulch around there. This plant could use some mulch, and there's a couple of heliconias. Oops, one of them I think got lost to the weed whacker. Oh no. Anyway, this one is a pink princess heliconia, so that looks like it's gonna survive, but I could definitely mulch over here too.